Ready to learn 6 things to consider to help you pick a sport for your 6 to 12-year-old and break their screen habits? Great. Let's start with a story that many parents relate to. It's dinner time. Jamie and her family are at the table, but something's not right. School's out for the summer, so our son is on his 5th straight hour of playing games on his Nintendo Switch. He's been parked in front of some type of screen since summer started. He sees eating, sleeping, and bathroom breaks as optional activities. Jamie's friends all say that this is normal since their kids do it too. But something about this new normal doesn't sit well with Jamie. She thinks, I must do something now, or my kid is going to end up a loner. And she decides it's time to put her son in sports. But how does Jamie choose the right sport? Jamie starts Googling options, but she feels like there are too many options and the stakes are too high to make the wrong choice. She didn't put in mountains of time and energy raising her son, only to have his future hijacked by a little glowing screen. My name is Otis. I'm a lawyer and former NFL player on a mission to help you parent like an athlete. If you can relate to Jamie's dilemma, get ready to learn about 6 things to consider that will help you pick a sport for your 6 to 12-year-old and break their screen habits. 1. Consider their interests. If your kid already loves a particular sport, throw what you know and start there. If they haven't shown a preference, use YouTube to show them highlight videos from a variety of sports. Once you find something interesting, watch some full games on TV and consider taking them to a live game to see how interested they are when there's not as much action. 2. Think about their personality, skills, and physical attributes. But don't think too hard about this. Let's use football as an example. Many people think football players are loud, aggressive, agile, big, and strong. While that's often true for teens and younger adults, we're talking about 6 to 12-year-olds who are far from reaching their potential size, strength, and skill mastery. And when it comes to personalities, consider that off-field personalities are different from those displayed on-field. I'm mild-mannered and relatively quiet in real life, but I was passionate and loud on the field, and I loved hitting people in games, but hated horseplay and never got into physical fights. A good rule of thumb is to avoid excluding a sport because your kid's talent, size, and personality don't line up with what you believe is necessary for a sport, especially if your kid shows interest in that sport. And if your kid has above average talent in a certain area, like shooting a basketball, explore that more. But don't pressure them to play if they don't love it simply because they are good at it. If they're good at one sport, it's likely they'll be good at another. 3. Practical considerations. Think about the cost, equipment requirements, time commitment, and availability of good coaches for each sport. The last thing you want to do is get your kid excited about playing a sport only to pull them out because of foreseeable logistical issues. 4. Prioritize safety. No sport is without risk. Some have more potential for injury than others, and some are more risky than most people realize. For example, nearly everyone thinks football is the most dangerous sport, but actually, it's basketball. You'll want to find out if the sports programs you're considering have access to athletic trainers, injury insurance, concussion protocols, and safe sport policies aimed at preventing abuse. 5. Encourage multi-sport participation. Age 6 to 12 is the best time to sample a variety of sports. Sports sampling helps kids get a full picture of which sports they enjoy playing, and it helps them avoid injuries, but most athletes don't know this. 68% of young athletes believe specializing in one sport is necessary to get a scholarship, and 82% believe it's necessary to make their high school team. But researchers found that young athletes specializing in one sport were 85% more likely to get injured than those playing multiple sports. Your kid can't play on any team if he's injured, so ignore all the bad advice and make sure he plays multiple sports until late in his high school years. 6. Ask yourself if they're truly having fun. This is the most important thing to consider. 70% of kids quit sports by age 13 and never play sports again because they lost the fun. Remember, you're competing with immersive video games packed with achievements and digital rewards that trigger a dopamine response for the player. So prioritize the sports that fill your child with joy. Don't just ask your kid if they're having fun. Look for the fun in their body language, facial expressions, efforts, and preparedness. Passion is the vehicle for exceptional growth in sports, and fun is the fuel. So remember, when choosing a sport for your 6 to 12-year-old, you want to consider 6 things: interests, personality, skills, and physical attributes, practicality, safety, multi-sport participation, And fun factor, when you get this right, and you will, your kid will have a hard time choosing an isolated life of video games and TV over an active life full of friends. Now, if you got some value out of this video, please show me some love by liking this video, subscribing to my channel, and turning on notifications. Part 3 of this series will go live next week, so be on the lookout. Thanks for your time. It means so much that you spend it with me. Have a great day or night. See you soon.